Hey guys, what's up? It's Chad. We're going to start today's video with this Dodge Challenger. Now, I already went over this car in a previous video, but I have since gotten a comment that I wanted to go over. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just wanted to go over this last sentence here. I think that V8 has plenty of power, or you can get a pulley. Now, I did reply to him, and for some reason the replies are not showing up on my computer, but I took a screenshot of it. So I asked, get a pulley for what? This car isn't supercharged. He says, full transparency, I am not a mechanic, but I believe if you change the pulley size for the serpentine belt, yeah, I'm sure this was supposed to read it, can add power. I believe this is the case with most vehicles. Maybe Dodges are different. Would like some input from all the people in the comments. So, my input, uh, changing pulleys only adds power to supercharged engines. If you change the pulley attached to the supercharger to a smaller pulley, it will make the supercharger spin faster, creating more boost and more power. Changing pulleys on a non-supercharged engine wouldn't create any more power. And this car is not supercharged, so changing pulleys wouldn't do anything. Um, but like I said, changing pulleys on the supercharger, that would add power. It would add power to a supercharged engine made by Ford. It would add power to a supercharged engine made by Chevy. And it would add power to a supercharged engine made by Dodge. So the fact that it's a Dodge wouldn't make any difference. It would work on any supercharged engine, regardless of the engine manufacturer. And as far as price, because he did say something about price, but for 7,500, it doesn't seem too bad. And 55% of people said it was a good deal. Next, we have this 2023 Ford Maverick. Oh, look at that interior. Ugh, atrocious. And the guy threw a bunch of extra Maverick stickers all over it. He's really proud of this thing. And got the Maverick dash pad there. These things, I do not like these. No one should be proud of owning one of these. These are not real trucks. They're just crossovers with open air cargo areas. So Krog 316 says, "What the fuck is a Ford Maverick?" Like I said, so for the 1970 through 1977 model years, it was a compact car. For the 2022 model year and new, it is a compact crossover with an open air cargo area. So just in case you did not know, the Ford Maverick used to be a literal car back in the 70s. Here's one, 1972. I think these are aftermarket wheels. But there's some Mavericks for you, Maverick cars. I mean, I think it's a really odd decision that Ford decided to bring the Maverick back as a compact crossover with an open air cargo area. Odd choice. He also went on to say was also a Nissan Patrol. So the uh, Nissan Patrol was sold by Ford Australia as a Ford Maverick. There you go. It was also a rebadged Nissan Patrol. They're just throwing the name Maverick on anything. So it was rebadged under what's called the Button Plan, which was the informal name given to the Motor Industry Development Plan, an Australian federal Labor government initiative intended to rationalize the Australian motor vehicle industry and transition it to lower levels of protection. It took its name from Senator John Button, the then federal minister for Commerce, Trade, and Industry. So there's some fun, interesting facts for you. And here's some other results. Got the Nissan Pulsar V-Patch is a Holden Astra. Ford XF Falcon was a Nissan Ute. Nissan Pen Tara was a Ford Corsair. Toyota Camry as a Holden Apollo. Toyota Corolla as a Holden Nova. Holden VS Commodore as a Toyota Lexan. So here's some really fun facts for you. This guy comments the Nerf Maverick. Yeah, it does kind of look like a Nerf gun. Just horrible. And this guy says, aren't they like 20K new? With this one being on XLT, they start at $26,315. Most people said $33,450 for this. It's not a good deal. Okay, next is this Ford Bronco Sport. This guy says 55K, they must be on crack. And it's got less than 100 miles on it. This guy replies with, that's roughly the MSRP on the Heritage Edition. That's not true. The Heritage MSRP is $33,700. Yeah, and it's not available for 1.3. The only engines you can get are a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder or a 2-liter 4-cylinder. He then goes on to say you can get bigger Falcons. So for the 2023 model year Bronco Sport Heritage Editions, you can get Falcons or Continental all-terrains. And then he says it's the top trim. It's actually the second lowest trim, above only the Big Bend trim. The highest trim is the Badlands Edition. Comment reads, tire pressures piss me off. I don't know why. Yeah, they're all over the place. I mean, there's a 4 psi difference between the rears. This guy says 45 psi in the tires is low key a lot. Am I tripping? The average is probably like 35. And that actually sparked quite the discussion here. This guy says it's a truck, should be like 65 if we being for real. He says, is the Bronco Sport really a truck though? No, it's not. It's a crossover. So, since we were on the topic of PSIs on this, I was at a Ford dealership, so I figured I might as well look into it. And the resolution on this video is not going to be that great. I had to email it to myself from my phone because the charge port on my phone doesn't work, so I couldn't connect it to the computer. So I had to email it, and then it was too big, so they had to resize it. So the quality's shit. So don't think I own a potato cell phone. But anyways, just to answer the questions and solve some curiosities. Okay, so there's been some debate on what the air pressure on a Ford Bronco Sport should be. So I'm at a Ford dealership. Found one that's unlocked. It wants 33 psi. And then since we were talking about what real trucks would want, I got the tire pressures, recommended tire pressures off of 3 real trucks. And for a comparison for a real truck, we got a Expedition here. These want 39 psi. Okay, so more examples of tire pressures in trucks, real trucks. Got this F-150 here. This one wants 35 psi. Okay, next we have this F-350. It wants 60 in the front and 80 in the rear. So yeah, these tire pressures are way too high. So those recommended tire pressures are when the tires are cold. And yeah, it's 109 degrees out, but would it really make it spike up 12? So also a lot of people kept referring to this as a Bronco. This is not a Bronco, it's a Bronco Sport. So I posted the Maverick and the Bronco Sport in the same day. He refers to it as a Bronco here, and got referred to as a Bronco here. So the Bronco Sport, and the Bronco 2 are three separate models. And there's a lot of vehicles out there that will have the same name in their model name, and then either throw on like Sport or the number 2. So stuff like that is important. That's means they're a different model. Some other examples, you got the Mustang Mach-E, the Mustang 2. That's three separate models. The Transit Connect. That's two separate models. Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, Montero, and Montero Sport. So that's another good example of the word sport, making it a completely different model. Ram ProMaster and ProMaster City, the Express, the City Express, the Lumina APV. There's a lot of examples out there like that. So I think that's going to be a good place to end this video. Thanks for watching.